स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धु च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। ओम गुरुदेव भगवान शिव शंकर भोलेनाथ कैलाशपति महाराज की जय, भगवान व्यास जी महाराज की जय, शंकराचार्य भगवान की जय, स्वामी चिन्मयानंद भगवान की जय, स्वामी दयानंद भगवान की जय, स्वामी प्रबुद्धानंद भगवान की जय, माता पिता की जय, सभी गुरु देवताओं की जय, सभी गुरु देवताओं की जय, सभी गुरु देवताओं की जय। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरि मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, we have seen verse number 13, in which Ishvara says, चातुर्वर्ण्यमया सृष्टम् गुणकर्म विभागशः तस्य कर्तारमपि मां विद्य कर्तारं व्ययम्। The fourfold grouping of people, a division based on duties and qualities, was created by me, even though I am its author. Know me to be non-doer, ever changeless. Ishvara is Karta from the standpoint of what is created and Akarta from the standpoint of his knowledge about himself. Meaning for him there is no notion of I am doer. Ishvara has no kartatva buddhi, kartratva buddhi. Krishna said earlier that this was not only true for him but for everyone too. Everyone who looks upon Ishvara as oneself, Atma as a Karta, is also a Karta. Even your Atma is a Karta. So God says the one who has clear knowledge of Ishvara is not bound by actions. Namam karmani limpanti न मे कर्म फले स्पृहा इति मायो अभिजानाति कर्मभिर्न स बध्यते। कर्माणि actions माम me न लिम्पान्ति do not affect karma phala, the reference to the result of action. Me, for me, naspraha, there is no longing, iti, in the way, yah, the one who, mam, me, abhijanati, knows clearly, sah, that person, karma bhihi, by actions, na badhyate, is not bound. Actions do not affect me. There is no longing with reference to the result of action for me. The one who knows me clearly in this way is not bound by actions. The one who is one with Ishvara is not bound with actions. The one who has corrected the error about himself as Ishvara is not bound by anything now. Not even karma, phal, anything. He is not bound by anything. He is free from all the bondages. The one who has corrected the error about himself as one, as a whole with the Ishvara, is free from all bondages, including the bondage of karma. In this very verse, Krishna reveals a fact about himself as Bhagavan and also extend it to the individual. Even though Bhagavan has created the world, and everything in it and perform actions to keep it going, these actions, whatever be their nature, do not affect him. Hence he says, Namam karmani limpanti. The actions do not touch me. They do not bind him. Meaning they do not create sukha or dukkha for him, because they do not create punya and papa for him as they do for jiva. And why do his actions not affect him? Because the notion I am the doer is not for him, not there for him. That is why he is doing all the actions, and he is a akartha. He is a non-doer of the actions, because he is not doing for karam phala. He is not doing it out of desire. The jiva, on the other hand, superimposes the notion of doership upon the Atma and then thinks that self is doing all the actions. The jiva superimpose the notion of karta upon the Atma and thinks that the self is doing, he is doing. And once you have the doership, kartatva, karatratva, you also have enjoyership, bhoktratva. A person who looks upon himself or herself as a doer has to answer for the action he or she does. But in fact, the self is not a karta. When one knows this particular fact, one no longer looks upon oneself as karta and is therefore unaffected by karma. See, it is very difficult first to understand that jiva has to do karma without a desire of karma phala as an offering to God. And then he has to understand that there is no bhoktritva of the phalas, whatever he gets. He is not the bhokta. He is not the enjoyer. A person who looks upon himself or herself as doer has to answer for the actions. Now the question here is, if Krishna knew he was not a doer, why did he do karma? Was it because of desire to accomplish something? No, he says. With reference to the result of action, there is no longing, no craving, no want whatsoever in him. Name karma phala sparaha. Therefore, when he performed karma,
it was not for gaining a result for himself. Ishvara, if Ishvara is doing a karma, he is not doing it to gain something out of it for himself. He did not look upon himself as one who is going to be better by performing an action, whereas for Jiva, he does the karma to gain something, gain a result out of his karma for himself. He looks upon himself who is going to be better by performing the action. Therefore, he is a jiva, he is a karta. Therefore, there is karma phala. You may ask, while this may be true for Ishvara, what about me, an individual, the jiva who is affected by my action and who also long for the results? This verse tells us that this state of affair is only for the ignorant, those who have no knowledge. The one who knows him clearly, yah mam abhijanati, Krishna says, can also say, action do not affect me, I do not long for their results. Na mam karmani limpanti, na me karma phale spraha. Actions do not bind such people, nor do they crave for the result of action to make themselves better. They don't do karmas to attain some materialistic gains. The word janati means knows, and abhijanati means knows clearly. The one who knows Ishvara clearly as oneself is being talked about here. There is no other way of knowing a non-doer, Paramatma. The Atma that is common here is the one who does not do, the one who is free from attributes. This is the Atma that Krishna is talking about. For Atma there is no doership, no enjoyership. As long as the notion of doership is there, there is a distinct entity. Then when this notion of doership is gone, the enjoyership also goes, leaving only the Atma that has no distinguishing feature whatsoever. The Atma that is non-doer, non-enjoyer, performs no action whatsoever while doing actions. If Atma has no distinguishing feature of its own, how many Atma can there be? Absence of distinguishing feature means that there is only one Atma. There is no Ishvaratma and Jivatma. No difference, no bheda exists between the two. There is only one Atma who is Ishvara, who is Jiva. Why then the seeming difference? It is all due to Upadhi alone. One Upadhi is total samast Upadhi, which is Ishvara, and the other is individual Vyasati Upadhi called Jiva. A person who knows Atma as neither a doer nor an enjoyer, knows Ishvara as oneself. Like Krishna, this person is not bound by the various karmas that he or she may do. Sakarma bhi na badhyate. Whether these actions be scripturally enjoyed or worldly, Vedic karma or Laukik karma, the particular verse is said to be Mahavakya, because Jiva and Ishvara are equated here. Krishna's word, I am not bound, and anyone who knows me is also not bound. Anyone who knows him, knows means the one who is oneself with him, who is the whole with him. Reveal the identity between Ishvara and Jiva, an identity that must be understood. This understanding is liberation, moksha. The understanding of oneself as whole with Ishvara is moksha. Krishna tells Arjuna how to gain this knowledge. This is verse number 15. How to get this knowledge? This is what Krishna is going to tell. Evam gyatva kratam karma purverapi mumukshubhihi kuru karmeva tasvatvam purve purvataram kratam. Evam, in this manner, jnanatva, knowing, purvahi mumukshubhihi, by the seeker of ancient times, api, even, karma, action, kartam, was performed, tasmat, therefore, tvam, you, purvahi, by those who came before, purvataram, in the ancient past, kartam, was done, karma, action, iva, indeed, kuru, perform. Knowing me in this manner, even the seeker of ancient times performed actions. Therefore, perform action indeed as even it was done by those who came before in the ancient past. Knowing Krishna, the Lord, in this manner, evam, refers back to what was said in the previous verse. Action do not affect me. Namam karmani limpanti. There Krishna said that he has no craving for the result of any action, because Atma is Purna, complete, and therefore asanga, free from all attachment. Atma is free from all actions. Atma is not attached to any action. It has no doership whatsoever. Atma's nature is pure consciousness, free from any kind of volition. Volition is dependent upon the Atma, but Atma is independent of all volition, all doership. Therefore, with reference to the result of action, karma phala, there is no trishna, longing in Atma. When one knows that I am not the doer of any karma, I am one with the whole, then there is no trishna, there is no desire for karma phala. Because there is no doership for the Atma, action do not affect Krishna, and also the person who knows the self, Atma and Ishvara are one. All those who knows Ishvara and Atma is one are not affected by the actions, the result of actions. Who gained this knowledge? Krishna pointed out earlier in the 10th verse of this chapter that many people had already reached him in this way. He did not mean everyone, but only those who were seekers, mumukshus, who wanted liberation. And once they had the knowledge, what did they get? Actions no longer affected them, and they no longer yearned for the result. In fact, this is what moksha is. There is no other moksha. Moksha is knowing oneself as a whole with Ishvara. Correction of error is there is no sarva. there is only Rajju. Correction doesn't mean that Sarpa becomes Rajju. It was Rajju already and incorrectly understood as Sarpa. That correction will come through knowledge. Knowledge only, 100% knowledge. If I see Rajju as Sarpa, then I have to correct my knowledge. I don't have to pray to God to protect me from that Sarpa. Because there is no Sarpa. There is no karma. This is to be understood, that there is no karma being done. And when will we understand this? Through the jnanam, through the self-knowledge. And this self-knowledge is moksha. And there is no other moksha. Having the knowledge does not preclude actions. Please understand. And what did the seeker who had gone before do once they had the knowledge? We have discussed this. The one who gets the knowledge, who understands oneself as not other than Ishvara, they perform action. Purvahi karma kratam. They performed actions. Therefore Krishna tells Arjuna that he should do the same. Tasmat tvam karma vihikuru. Which meant that Arjuna should not take to sannyasa. Moksha doesn't mean to take to sannyasa. If there are karmas to be done, a duty to be performed, he should do what is to be done by him. Shankara makes it very clear in his commentary of this verse that Arjuna was not to sit quietly, nor was he to take sannyasa. Natasunam asanam napi sannyasa kartavya. He was to do the karma that was his to do. Just as earlier seeker had done, even those who already had this knowledge. Krishna is telling Arjuna that if he is a mumukshu, then he should perform action, because previously those people who were mumukshu did karma and reach him. Arjuna should do what other seekers before him and had done. Purvahi purvataram kratam. Not what people in general had done. The use of the word mumukshu is very relevant here. A mumukshu being a person who wants to gain liberation. Those who are still ignorant and want liberation need to gain the knowledge that will liberate them. Having said that others acquired the knowledge in this way, Krishna says, therefore, with Shraddha, faith, that you too will gain liberation, please do karma and gain this knowledge. Shankara adds here that a mumukshu who is not yet a jnani and therefore not totally clear about this knowledge should perform action in order to cleanse the mind of all its ragas and dveshas. Even if one knows that Atma completely, one should also perform actions. Not for antakaran shuddhi, but for the sake of others. Even if the one who knows the Atma, the one who is jnani, one should also perform action. Not for antakaran shuddhi now, but for the sake of others. Loka sangrahartham. Because of the jnani's prarabdha, there is something yet to be done. Meaning, whatever prevents itself from him or her to do is to be done, and for the good of the people. This action does not affect the jnani in any way, because the person does not take himself or herself to be the doer. The word mumukshu can indicate either a seeker or one who is already liberated. Jivan Mukta. In either case, karma is to be done. Krishna says Arjuna himself could decide whether he was a jnani or jnani, but still he was to perform action. Either way, he would not lose anything by doing what was to be done. Inaction never leads to liberation. This is very valid point. People say, let us then stop doing actions. Krishna wants to make sure that Arjuna did not think he would be liberated by not doing karma. But at the same time, he must be clearly understood that doing karma is not going to liberate a person either. See, you have to do karma, and those karmas are not going to liberate. Only jnana, only knowledge is going to liberate. It can only bring about antahkaran shuddhi, as we have already seen and we already know it. Doing karma is not a direct means of liberation, but it is an indirect means because it helps to prepare the mind. It helps to prepare your mind so that the knowledge can take place. The point here is that not doing karma will not help in any way. An undone karma never helps you, because something that is not done cannot produce result of any kind. On the other hand, a karma that is done, kratam karma always produces some result, either an ordinary karma phala or antahkaran shuddhi. If the karma is done for some karma phala, it will produce karma phala. And if it is not done with the intention of any karma phala, then it will bring antahkaran shuddhi. It can bring both. Naishkramya, the state of actionless. That is, moksha is not gained by not doing karma. Naishkramya is the state of actionless, that is moksha. And it is not gained by not doing karma. Not doing action does not amount to total actionlessness, because you will always be doing one thing or other. Non-doership is to be understood as the very nature of Swarupa, of oneself. Therefore, Krishna says to Arjuna here, all these karmas you see me doing do not affect me in any way. I am totally unaffected by all of them. Because he is not doing karma for enjoying the karma phala. He is Krishna is a Ishvara. He knows the very nature of Swarupa. He is totally free from all the actions. He is not affected by any of the actions. Because he is totally unaffected by the action and their results, Krishna as Ishvara has no partiality either. If Krishna wanted certain result, that is, if he had karma phala, he would be doing one thing for one person and another thing for another person. Based on what he wanted from these people, there would also be for whom he would be do nothing, because there was nothing to be gained from them. He would help only those people who day after day flatter him and with the same words, "Oh Bhagavan, you are so wonderful, so great, you are everything." And about the others he would say, "Since they do not care for me, I am not going to take care of them." This would mean that Bhagavan also want to be cared for and loved, and not just by one person but by everyone. God does not have such problems. He has no longing for the results of any action. Name karma phalasparaha. He does not get anything out of people loving him. He is completely detached from all of these. And so are you just by knowing Ishvara. Hence Krishna says, the one who knows me clearly, yah mam abhijanati, is also out from this karma and is not bound by it at all. By telling Arjuna that a number of people since ancient times have achieved him by doing karma, Krishna is saying that Arjuna should also do karma. He did not want Arjuna to become confused, thinking that by not doing karma he would gain moksha actionless. Since there can be so much of confusion around the concept of actionless, Krishna begins a new session here, the true meaning of action and inaction. This is verse number 16. In this, Krishna is going to explain about what is the meaning of action and inaction. Kim karma kim karameti kavyo apayatra mohitaha tate karma pravakshyami yajgyatva mokshasya ashubhat. Even the seer scholars are confused with reference of what is action and what is actionless. I shall tell you about action, knowing which you shall be released from what is inauspicious sansara. This we will see tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnad Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnimadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Om Gurubhyo Namaha. This is little longer to understand. It will take time. So we will take 3 slokas tomorrow, 16, 17 and 18, which will explain this in detail. Otherwise, there will be a break in it. Yes, it's going to be a very long chapter. This will be done in 3, 4, 5 classes. Actions, understanding action and understanding inaction is the main motive of this chapter. It is going to be a long chapter which will be completed in longer time. Hari Om Tat Sat.